Today we're going to talk about how to clean and oil the fretboard for your guitar, or the fingerboard, or whatever it is you want to call it. So, when you play your guitar, the wood of your fretboard and your frets themselves get pretty dirty. Your fingers have oil in them and grease and all that other stuff, regardless of how hygienic you are. And it's a good idea to clean that out and kind of make it so that the wood isn't all clogged up with that stuff. So there are a few different things you can use to do this. Naphtha is a pretty popular, what's the word I'm looking for? Cleaner, I guess. I use methanol personally, which is what I have in this container. If you've been watching my stuff, you probably know that I tend to keep methanol in all sorts of weird containers for some reason, because the containers I get it in are like 5 gallons. So that's not really fun to work with. Anyway, what I'm going to use is just a piece of shop towel and some methanol, and since I don't have any strings on this, in fact I don't even have a guitar on this, it's just a neck, I'm just going to take that and make sure that I get all the gunk off of the neck. Probably can't see from there, but there's actually a fair bit of dirt on here. So step one, after you've got your strings off, is to just go in with a cleaner and clean off your neck. Now, there are a few, like I said, different cleaners that you can use. I use methanol. A lot of people use lighter fluid, butane, some form of alcohol. And by some form of alcohol, I mean cleaning alcohol, not tequila. So don't do that. Actually, I don't know how that would turn out. You can try it if you want. But yes, the first step is to clean it. Just use a cloth and a cleaning agent. Don't use steel wool, okay? A lot of people try and use steel wool to clean their frets and the fretboard. And as much as it gets the stuff off of there, it also releases little particles of steel, which for one thing can get stuck in next to your frets. That's not good for your guitar. Those can work their way in and loosen up your frets. It also makes a heck of a mess. And don't forget, if you're using an electric guitar, you're playing an instrument that has magnets in it. Pickups are magnetic. So if you're putting little steel dust all over your guitar, it could get into your pickups, and I don't really know what it could do from there, but I'm sure it's not good. Anyway, the one thing a lot of these cleaning agents have in common is that they have a tendency to dry out pretty much everything they touch. If you get methanol all over your hands, it dries them out, and the same applies to your wood. So by cleaning this, I've now actually dried out the neck a fair bit. Now, wood doesn't like being dry. It doesn't like being wet either. It's kind of finicky that way. But it's always good to oil or lubricate the wood afterward to keep it from cracking or anything of that nature. So for that, the most popular item is lemon oil. Now, there are other options. A lot of people don't like lemon oil. It's kind of carcinogenic. Not really good for you. Carcinogenic means it gives you cancer, by the way, in case you didn't know that. I'm sure you did. Anyway, that's what I'm going to use because it's among the most popular choices. So there are a few different formats for lemon oil. This one, I should probably zoom in a bit. Give me a second. Alright, so this is lemon oil made by Dunlop, Jim Dunlop. It's specifically designed for guitars, and by that I mean it's the same oil as normal lemon oil. It's just got an applicator pad at the top. So you can get something like this, and what this allows you to do is just flip it over, give it a little bit of a squeeze, and get some oil into the pad, and then you rub it back and forth on the fret. Okay? Now it's a good option, but it's kind of expensive, and the applicator pad makes it difficult to get right in next to the fret. If you just need a small volume, if you're not going to be doing this very often, then that'll work fine. So what you do with that is apply it and then use a cloth and just kind of rub it in there, take off the excess, and then you let the rest of it soak in. So if you look, oh, I missed a spot. I have a slightly more open grain part of my fretboard there that can take more oil than the rest. Anyway, so if you look at this now, you can see that that fret, or that space, is shinier, it's lubricated, okay? And like I said, that's one option. You find something like that at a music shop. If you're gonna be doing this more often, if you have a lot of guitars, or you do this for other people, or you just really wanna keep your fretboard nicely oiled, you can get lemon oil in a larger format at a hardware store. And by volume, it's much cheaper. So that's what I use when I oil fretboards, typically. I have that one lying around from, oh, by the way, I put it over there. I have that lying around from, well, I bought it ages ago before I started doing this very often. Anyway, with this stuff, I just put it on a rag. It's the exact same thing. It smells like lemons in here now. And the rag allows me to get in nice and close to the frets. And then I can use a different part of the rag to, well, I can use this part of the rag to rub it in because I'm not getting more oil by doing that like I would with the applicator pad. And then if I need to wipe off excess, I can do it with another part. I'm going to let this soak in for a while and not worry about it. This is also quite fast. You can get at, well, all the frets at once. So putting it on a rag like this, usually that first dab of the oil on there allows me to do pretty much the entire fretboard. And I might go over this whole thing one more time, just in case, because I don't do this very often. This is a neck that I've recently taken apart to refinish. I've got some cherry Danish oil on there right now. Or was it red mahogany? No, it's cherry. Cherry Danish oil. Just doing a natural finish on it. Not that that has anything to do with what I'm showing you right now, but gives me something to say while I'm oiling this fretboard. Okay, so now if I catch the light angle correctly, you can see that some of these top ones, the oil is soaking in, starting to dry, and down near the bottom it's still a little shinier because the oil is still sitting on top. So what I'm going to do now is give this probably 5 minutes and then go over it again with the oil, and that'll be it. I will have cleaned it and re-lubricated it so it won't be dry anymore, and then this will be ready to put back together. Alright guys, so that concludes our video on how to clean and oil your fretboard. Remember, it's always good to keep your fretboard clean if you can. It helps keep the wood in good condition, keeps it from getting clogged up. And when you clean it, that usually dries it out. So it's always good to oil it afterward. What I used here in this video was lemon oil. You can also use mineral oil. It's a good lubricant. People use it all the time on things like butcher blocks. But that really doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to use, there's your method for applying it. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I'll see what I can do to answer them. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.